My husband's been acting strange lately, and I'm starting to think he's hiding something. Hi Reddit. I don't really post here, but I've been reading enough of these stories to know that sometimes you need a little outside perspective before you start spiraling. So, here I am. My husband Aaron, 33M, and I, 31F, have been married for 5 years. He's sweet, calm, a little introverted, but always been affectionate and honest. We've never had real drama, like, no cheating, no big fights, just normal stuff like dishes and Netflix arguments, but lately, I don't know, something feels off. It started about 3 weeks ago. He's been getting home later than usual, says he's busy at work, but his job is pretty flexible. He's a graphic designer and works mostly freelance, so staying late somewhere doesn't really make sense. Then there's his phone. He never used to hide his screen from me. We're not the read each other's messages type, but now I notice him angling his phone away, putting it face down, even turning off notifications when I walk in the room. Last night, I walked in while he was on the phone and he rushed off like I caught him doing something wrong. When I asked who it was, he just shrugged and said work stuff. Here's where it gets weirder, he's suddenly been protective of his car. Like, won't let me grab something from the glove box, says it's a mess and practically jumps in front of me. He's never been like this. He still kisses me goodnight. Still cuddles. But something about it feels automatic. Forced. I don't know if I'm imagining things or if I'm slowly watching our marriage fall apart right in front of me. I don't want to be that person, snooping and paranoid. But my gut is screaming. I ask this how it starts. That slow distancing before they pull the rug out from under you. I don't have proof of anything, but I can't shake the feeling that there's someone else. I followed my husband yesterday. I think he's lying about where he's going. Okay, so, I know how this sounds, but I followed him. I had to. After writing part 1, I tried to brush it off. Told myself I was spiraling. That I was overthinking everything because of Reddit horror stories and TikTok psych advice, but something happened yesterday that I can't ignore. Aaron said he had to go meet a client. Said he might be out late. I asked if I could come, just casually, not even pressing, and he looked panicked. Not annoyed, not frustrated, scared, then said, it's not really something you'd want to sit through. Just boring branding talk. Red flag. Glowing red.so. I waited 10 minutes after he left, then got in my car and followed him. Yes, I know. Crazy. But my heart was pounding so hard I felt like I'd throw up. It felt like my body knew something I didn't. He drove across town. Not to a cafe, not to a co-working space. He parked in front of a small flower shop called Fern and Feather. He stayed inside for almost 40 minutes. I waited outside. Googled the place. It's locally owned. No big online presence. Just a few photos, lots of plants, some vintage homeware, super aesthetic. Not the kind of place you'd meet a client for branding stuff unless maybe they were running it. When he came out, he wasn't carrying anything. But he looked tense. Not happy. Not relaxed. Almost like he was trying to keep himself together. When he got home, I asked him how the meeting went. He gave me a half smile and said, it's going somewhere. Slow progress. That doesn't even make sense. Who says that after a graphic design job? I didn't press him. But I'm seriously losing it. Why would he lie about where he was going? What could possibly be happening in a flower shop that he won't tell me about? He's not cheating, is he? Please someone tell me I'm not insane. I need to know if I'm seeing something real or just being delusional. One of the Redditors messaged me with a theory. I checked, and now I'm even more confused. So, thanks to everyone who commented or messaged me after. You guys were shockingly kind and not nearly as judgy as I expected. Grinning face with sweat anyway. One of you actually DM'd me with a suggestion that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. They said, what if the flower shop isn't the real destination? What if there's something behind it, or someone working there he's meeting? And it was like, a little lightbulb moment because the shop didn't make sense. The timing didn't. The way he left empty-handed didn't. The tension on his face didn't. So today, I went back. I walked into Fern and Feather like any regular customer. It's gorgeous inside, like soft green wallpaper, dried herbs hanging from the ceiling, little handwritten signs for everything. Definitely not the kind of place a 6 feet 2 inches graphic designer with zero plant knowledge usually visits. There was a girl behind the counter, maybe early 20s, blonde, artsy vibe. She looked at me and said, you just missed your husband. I swear my soul left my body for like 5 seconds. I laughed and said, oh. You mean Aaron? Like it was nothing. She nodded. Yeah, he's been coming by a lot lately. He was just in here, like 2 minutes ago. Babe. I didn't even know he left the house. I walked around the store for a few minutes, half shaking, then left. I waited in my car and sure enough, he came out. 10 minutes later, same tense walk. No bag. No flowers. Just him, looking over his shoulder like he thought someone might be watching. I drove home separately and beat him there. He came in, kissed my cheek, said he had to finish something for work. I haven't said anything. I can't. Not yet, but something is happening at that flower shop and now I know it's not just a one-time thing. What would he possibly be doing there this often, lying about it, hiding it from me? I feel like I'm about to break. I finally snapped. We had a fight. And now I've seen something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't want to do this. I swear I didn't, but I'm unraveling and I think I finally cracked a little. Tonight, Aaron got another phone call. He walked out of the room to take it, like he always does now. I followed, not like, fully sneaking. I just stood in the hallway, out of sight, and I heard him say, no, not yet. She's home. I'll try again tomorrow. My heart fell so hard I felt it in my knees. I walked straight in and said, who are you talking to? He jumped and immediately hung up. He looked so guilty. Like caught in the act, deer in headlights guilty. He said it was a client. I asked why he said she's home. He froze. Then said, it's just, bad timing. I didn't mean anything. I told him I knew about the flower shop. About him going there when he said he was working. About the girl saying he came by all the time. He didn't deny it. He just sat down. Rubbed his face. Said, you're not wrong to be suspicious. But I promise you, it's not what you think. That made it worse, babe. I asked him point blank if he was cheating. If he was hiding someone. If there was another life I didn't know about, and he looked me in the eyes and said, no. God, no. You're my entire life. Then he left, just said he needed to clear his head and walked out. I sat in the kitchen shaking. Thinking about packing a bag. Calling my sister. Telling her it's happening, my marriage is ending, the man I thought loved me is gone, but then something happened, he left his work tablet on the counter, he never leaves it behind, I shouldn't have looked. But I did. There's a folder labeled H on the home screen, inside it? Photos. Dozens of them. Scanned letters. Ticket stubs. Handwritten notes. At the top was a sketch. It's of me. Sitting on our couch. With a book in my lap and my hair up. It's beautiful. Like something out of a museum, and the folder is titled, For Her. I don't understand what's going on. If he's cheating, why would he be sketching me? Why keep these pieces of our life? Why name it that? What is he planning? And why do I feel more scared than ever? I found out what my husband's been doing behind my back. And I feel like the worst person in the world. So. I opened the rest of the folder, and it wrecked me. After part 4, I spent hours sitting on the kitchen floor, staring at Aaron's tablet. My heart was racing the whole time, like I was about to uncover something I couldn't unsee. Inside that folder, it wasn't cheating. It wasn't secrets or another woman or some double life. It was a project. There were sketches of me. Of our wedding. Of my childhood home. Notes about my favorite flowers, my late grandma's handwriting, the little scar I have on my chin from when I fell off a bike at 13. Stuff I've only ever mentioned in passing. He had everything. Photos of the book I cried over last year because it reminded me of my mom. A note that said, find a way to include lemon verbena, she said it smells like safety. A sketch of the inside of Fern and Feather. Annotated with circles and margins. Ask about the vintage key rack. She'd love that. It hit me slowly. Like a wave I didn't see coming until it crushed me. He's making something. For me. A few files down, I found the working title, Home, a story for her. There was a document open. The first page was blank except for one line, every love story I've ever read pales in comparison to the one I get to live with you. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was catching him hiding something awful. That I was being lied to. That I was being left behind, but he was planning a gift. A project. Something he'd been building in secret to surprise me, and I was ready to blow up our whole marriage over it. I didn't know what to do with myself. I sat there crying quietly for a solid hour. Then I did something I probably shouldn't have. I drove back to Fern and Feather. The same girl was there. I told her everything. That Aaron was my husband. That I was confused. That I thought he was cheating. She looked at me and laughed and said, he talks about you like you hung the stars. Apparently, Aaron's been designing a bookstore pop-up. A collaboration with the flower shop. A mix of plants and books and scent notes and art, all inspired by me. He told her it was for our anniversary, which is next week. I feel like I'm going to combust. Out of love. Out of guilt. Out of everything. I don't even know how to face him now. My husband finally showed me what he's been working on. And I've never loved him more. Reddit. I don't think I've ever cried like this before. Aaron came home around midnight. I was on the couch waiting for him. Still in the same clothes, holding the tablet in my lap. He looked tired. Nervous. Like he was preparing for a breakup. Before he could say anything, I just blurted out, I saw it. The folder. I'm so sorry. His whole body just deflated, not angry. Not even sad. Just relieved. He came and sat next to me and said, I wanted it to be a surprise. That's when he told me everything. A few months ago, he started designing a small installation with the flower shop, part book nook, part memory space. All based on things that matter to me. He even reached out to my sister, my best friend, my old English teacher for stories. He recreated our first apartment in tiny sketches. He found a letter I wrote my grandma in 7th grade and turned the words into a wall print. He said, you always think you're forgettable. I wanted to prove you're not. He called it the story of her. He's been building it piece by piece, after hours, in secret, because he wanted to watch my face light up when I walked in on our anniversary. I couldn't stop crying. He kept wiping my face and saying, don't apologize. I should have told you. I just really wanted it to be perfect. And all I could say was, you already are. We held each other for so long. Like we were brand new again, like 5 years hadn't passed and we were still just two idiots falling in love on a rainy Tuesday. I thought I was losing him, but he was busy loving me louder than I've ever seen before. So yeah, Reddit. I guess this is a story about what happens when you stop trusting your partner, but also what happens when you're reminded why you ever did in the first place. Happy anniversary to the man I almost doubted, and thank you, truly, to the Redditor who said, don't dig for ghosts when you might just be living with a gardener. He wasn't hiding something. He was planting something, and I'll spend the rest of my life watching it bloom. This is the last update I'll be posting here. Goodbye everyone, thanks a lot for your support.